So what's up everybody? As you guys know, the topic of today's video is what I want to talk about is the fact that we have some new stuff in Call to Arms, making it look better. I showed you a video on how to do better graphics, so it's very brand new. It's something that a lot of people have wanted, and they've been wanting ODST story. Well, the part 1 of ODST, you play as a Spartan. Not Spartan, but ODST. You'll need the mods following the workshop mod. But it's very interesting. The interesting thing about it is it doesn't just combine itself. So we're going to take a look at the ODST mod and kind of like show you what's really going on in it. So go to here, campaign, select mission, ODST. Every mission is compacted and done exactly the way you would think it's supposed to be done. There are brutes there as well. We've got very, very interesting things that happen in the game itself. Missions to be looked at, and this will be available. I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look and see exactly what's really going on into the game.
Today we rise up, and now it is our turn to fight. No matter what, we will prevail. We will become strong. We'll destroy the enemy at all costs.
And exit. Okay, there's that one. There's this one. Take a look at the texture. I don't know why it does this. It does it for some odd reason, I don't know why. Pretty much have to log out of the game completely. it does this. I don't know why it does this. I have no idea why. I think it's because the game is old or something. I'm not sure, to be honest. And as you see, it just does this. See, it's a little better here, as you can see. The texture looks a little better. And a lot of stuff that happened here. Pelican down. There's a lot of voice acting in here that I did.
Covering fire!
Graphics really played a big part in part 1. As you can see, the sword was right there. The reason it's not working is because there's a mod that's been connected to it. The graphics are really good. I like the graphics a lot. It looks good. That's what I was going for. I'm not gonna do everyone like this. So when we talk and look and see everything that has to do with what we're looking at, it's the key factor that we're looking at all this at one point. So what's really going on is you're moving differently, but you're also trying to understand exactly what's really going on in the first place. So the ODST has been sent in. Okay, so here's the backstory of it. The ODST was sent in to discover that an unknown force was at base sector 27. Well, when the ODST got there, base sector 7, so to speak, was extremely different. Base sector 7 was completely different. Like when he got there, he was shocked to see what was really going on. The flood had infected everything. The ODST was shocked. Water had returned, and with water, his people, his his army had returned. Now the ODST had found himself into a predicament of what to fight along Isaac Commander, which Isaac Commander became a Spartan himself, but also a commander. So what's the more of the story? You gotta go around. I wanted to make this game really, really different. Because I didn't really know much about a story until I started trying to figure it out. I had to come up with all this stuff, and a lot of this has to go with the voice acting. So if we go to here, here's your first one.
Today we rise up, and now it is our turn to fight. No matter what, we will prevail. We will become strong. We destroy the enemy at all cost.
ODST, it's great to see you. Alright, listen up. They've got a base in the North Hemisphere, about 3 of them. We need to completely destroy them and take out all their units. Once done, we can move up the base. Understood? Okay, good. Let's get it done.
Here's just one. Another custom voice acting.
This is Trella 6, Trella 6, Trella 6. We're going down, going down. We need to get a hold of her.
Kill them all. Destroy this filth. I wonder if he lets one of them dead. Make your lord proud.
ODST, can you get to my pelican? It's down. I'm trying to fight off with the government, but I can't hold up much longer. I need your help as much as possible. Get it as soon as possible.
Alright, so that's what I've got so far in part 1. Actually, mission 5 is actually part 2. So there's a little sneak peek into there. But it's very, very interesting to see what these stories start to add up and what's really going on, because ODST is being pressured, right? He just lost he lost his men. Now he's on his own, and then finally see our ODST dies. Now, a lot of speculation was around this and said, well, if if the ODST dies, he's now a ODST commander dies. If he dies, is it the same thing as Agent Lone? And the question that always remains in the exact same place is, it's difficult. It's hard to say, because at one point Lone had a mission that was so far out that was very different, you know. And then the ODST had a mission that was so far out that was very jaded. It's like this. So now he's got part 1 done, ODST. Now he's got to go around. Now he meets Isaac Commander in part 2. I've got some stuff that I'll be showing you in the next video on part 2, if this one gets some clicks. What am I saying exactly? What I'm saying is, no matter what, it's always going to depend on the person. It's always going to depend what you are. If you can play this in third person or first person mode, it depends. Or you can play this as just a classic RTST mode. It doesn't matter. Fog of War, no Fog of War. Heroic, realism, Fog of War, it's up to you. You can select the difficulty. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to play. It's however you want to play and everything, you know? So, what is the story? Well, the story is, at the very end, you have to kill an elite. At the very end, you kill an elite, the one that says kill them all. As you'll see, he'll kill a lot of different people, and this makes ODST kind of upset, because he was sent out there, but now he's got to understand what it's like to actually be alone. Just like Agent Lone did, but Agent Lone had no backup, really. He was sent out by himself. Agent Lone sacrificed himself because he knew what was going to happen. So he sacrificed himself to save. But then another agent called Kiira joined in, and after killing many brutes, she died. But the story doesn't end there, because in part 2 of Halo Lone, part 2, you've seen that he was extremely different. There was more there than meets the eye. And you see, that's what it's all about, is knowing what's really going on. Again, making these games, making these missions is love, passion, feeling, caring, excitement, and fun. And time, of course, and effort. But when you're making a game, you have to make sure the story makes sense. If there's no lore behind it, people are going to get disinterested in it. If it's not an ODST, but just some guy that gets posted on there and be like, here you go, with nothing, no backstory, then people are going to wonder and be like, hey, what is this? I'm losing interest here. And that is because I have to tell a good story. I have to tell a good story, because if I don't tell a good story, people won't want to play. I'll get no subscribers. So I have to tell a good story. I can't add in so many cutscenes, it's crazy, you know? And that's what happens in this game. Yeah, you've got cutscenes, but it's not a lot of cutscenes. You've got missions, but they gotta be cool, and that's what I'm working on, is objectives. Your first objective would be to kill the enemy. So it'd be like this. Commander ODST. Take out that elite. Understood. There's your objective. I think the most important part that it lays into this is knowing It really comes down to knowing. And the question is part 1 going to be good? Then will part 2 be good to finish it off? And that always, that's always the question, whether or not it's going to be good or not. And the years that in part 2, the years that are in part 2 that make this big difference, make this big plot array, this big interesting thing, is knowing what the next story is going to be about. And I think that's really important, that it makes sense, and that these stories, these cutscenes, and these voice actings, they don't just come from nothing. It isn't. I don't just throw it in there and be like, "Oh, this is okay. I'm gonna throw." No, I record, and I'm like, "Oh, that doesn't work. This isn't making any sense. I need to redo the story." Or this level is not cool enough. This level is not making any sense. I need to destroy it and start new again. I go back probably 24 times just to make sure our map looks good. Cause if it don't look good, I'm not gonna publish it and post it. If it look good, I'm gonna publish and post it. But if it don't look good, then it ain't worth it to me. So I gotta be out there and fight hard, and fight well, fight great. So that's what happens when you're making games. Is everything is so different that it has like that. It has that thing on there. I've made tons of games, but I never posted them because I didn't like the way the story was going to end up. I didn't think it made any sense. So it's always different to see how that's going to play out. What's going to happen? Is he going to get stronger and tell his men to get dropped off again? Every 20 seconds or every 30 seconds. Here comes more men. Boof. Drop off. Here comes more men. Boof. Drop off. So what year? If Warder did come back, and his people are there, then the question is different. The question is, instead of doing that, the question actually remains of extremely different. It goes beyond very far out. The question remains, where is Warder now? So what happens, guys, is the ODST Part 1, ODST Part 2 are completely 2 different years. The first one is 2023. The second Part 2 is 2030. Well, 2030. Not 2040, but 2030. This is when Warda was still there and Isaac Commander was still trying to. This is after Warda died, but Warda left around his men, a lot of his men that you have to destroy and kill. So the interesting thing about this is that many of this doesn't make any sense because when Warda had his men there, he had them somewhere else as well. So taking apart every little detail about this to make this a good story, I have to key it in there because Isaac Commander is definitely going to join you on this mission in part 2. He really is. So, what exactly is going on? Like I said, you have to find out. I'll play one more for you and then I'm going to end the stream. As you can see, here he is. He goes, and then he's got his other men that are there. Just go on for hours. Oh, so you've only died. And if you guys don't like this, then tell me about it, and I'll delete it. But anyways, that's what it's about. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing posted and updated on the workshop.